Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. Brittany is not with me today. She's back home. First video you probably seen was our trip to the zoo. We're going to be playing some Minecraft later this week. Hopefully Wednesday we'll be able to get some recordings and then upload the videos. But on a side note, I'm going to be playing some individual games to pass the time, and I decided to start with the Stanley Parable. I read a lot about it, and it seems like a pretty interesting game, so let's do this.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Okay.
And Stanley was happy.
Yeah, he doesn't look too happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay. So apparently you just follow whatever the narrator says, or ignore it, from what I've been told. But I'm gonna see where exactly this goes.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. Smell sensitivity is a little rough. Need to raise it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Every time I make a choice, I usually go right. But I'll follow what the narrator says. Anybody in there? Nope. Okay. I'm guessing this is
Yet
it.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you? How to dispute, or solve a dispute, I should say. No. These, it never works. Broom closet, eh?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Sorry. Jeez. You seemed a little upset about that.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Upstairs, okay. Can't see out the window. Apparently it's too bright outside. Oh, it's nice. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 284. 4, 5. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Oh, I know it. You just told it
Yet
to me.
incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I don't like this. It's too suspicious. Why does my boss have a secret room? Nope. Down into the pits we go. And to a loading screen.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Or maybe because I was happy with my job. That's not cool. As I was saying, maybe it's because he was so happy with his
Stanley
job.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, it's not like I could go back. Oh? Escape or mind control? Yeah, why not? Let's go. I ain't afraid of you.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah. I'm a brave man. Might as well, I'm all alone. Nothing else to do. Ah, here it is.
Now the monitors jumped to life,
Whoa.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
Wow.
And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Is that me? The one room that doesn't work? Somebody got fired. That guy right there. He got fired. It said fired on it. See? Fired. What was I? Was it 450 something? I can't remember.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Sounds like every job.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
I believe it.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Which controls? Oh, this can. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Press the button. I thought there was like some order or something. And let's turn it off. That worked. I broke it. See a light.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
What if I just sit here? What if I go back? It's not gonna let me go back. No, you said there's more. There's gotta be something else. I don't want to. So apparently, I missed everything. I just freed myself. I did get upset when I went into the broom closet. So maybe I could have went into like everybody's office. I'll just play it again, make another episode. But for now, being the second episode, I want to keep things short until I get more adjusted to everything. I get a better setup. I got a new computer. I just have to set up everything. I got to install all my games. I got to install all my programs to record and pretty much figure it out, because the one I'm using now is an i3, which is, I'm surprised this game is running pretty good. So I finally upgraded to an i7. I've got, external hard disk and all that extra stuff, so I can make sure I have plenty of space. So
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alright, beat the game. Okay, so that was pretty much, I'm guessing, one of the endings. I read in the reviews that there's more than one ending. So like I said, I'll go back, I'll do a different path, I guess, try to figure out some new things. But by the time me and Brittany record Minecraft, I am going to be using my new computer, and we're going to try and have two different perspectives, so that if at any point we need to show what she had to go through, what I had to go through for certain parts, we're going to try and get that together for you guys. And we're going to try to get some more vlogs going, but our work schedule is kind of different, so we have to wait till we actually get a day together to do something. So oh, back in the office. Oh, it's 427. That's what, no, I said 457. But anyways, next path for another time. So thank you guys for watching. If you have any recommendations for any games you want me to play or us to play together, then just let me know. And hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys later.